Hi, my name is Matt. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Ambient Weather WR-112 Adventure Emergency Radio. For full disclosure, I did receive this radio from Ambient Weather in return for a review. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we'll go over is what's on the box. We can see that this is a NOAA weather radio. It has weather alerts. We look on the side. It tells us that it's has multiple power sources, solar powered, hand cranked, has AC power, and there's a internal lithium battery. The back of the box describes many of the features that are in here. We'll go over those here in just a moment. And then on the other side of the box, there's an included AM, FM, and weather band radio. It can receive NOAA alerts, as well as a headphone jack, and it will also work as a flashlight. So, all right, we'll put the box away. Here's some of the contents that are in the box. We get the weather radio itself. There's a couple of cables here. One's for charging the device itself. Here's another one for charging other devices such as cell phones and other items. Also comes with several different connectors here right out of the box to connect to the accessory port here. In here we have a USB as well as a micro USB and a micro and a mini USB jack. Is some of the more popular items there. It also comes with an instruction book. Flip through this. The instruction book is very easy to read. Does give some helpful hints, so anything you need to do, all of the features on here, there's a lot of features on here, and it very well describes those features. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the weather radio. It does seem to be constructed fairly well. It's all plastic, but fairly hard plastic. It definitely take a drop or two, and it's not going to harm it at all. There's an integrated antenna for better reception. It's telescopic here, as well as on the top here we can see that there is a one of the power sources here is a solar panel. On the back there is a hand crank. Pop this open real quick here. We'll show you back behind the hand crank there is a lithium battery in here. It doesn't look like a standard battery, but I could be wrong on that one. It's 800 milliamps, so not terribly large, but 800 milliamp lithium battery included. All right. On the side, we have we have a flap here covering a couple different ports. We have a headphone jack, a power port, as well as a this is a mini USB port for powering the device if you have it in a weather setting. One thing I did notice, it's very hard to get this cover back on in a sealed properly. I mean, this could be something that they want to take a look at and work on for the next time. Overall, though, I mean, it's not a big deal to have that. That will go back in if you play around with it a little bit. On the front, we have a flashlight. There's a button on top that operates the flashlight. Simple on and off. There is another feature of this. I have an older model of this same version. One of the new items on this model that the old one did not have is if you turn the flashlight on and then you hold this for 3 seconds, it's going to start doing an SOS from the light, as well it's going to sound a siren on the front of the unit. So let me go ahead and press that to do that demonstration really quick. Alright, we can hear that's pretty annoying. Definitely would get somebody noticed if that was going off there. Alright, so now let's look to the front of this. It has a nice display on the front. It is backlit, so you can see it at night. And we'll turn the volume down. This does have great volume. The speaker on it's actually surprisingly good quality for the size unit and everything else. We can turn this up a little bit here.
cloudy 83, Toledo cloudy 84, and Columbus cloudy 86.
So it does get nice and loud, and the speaker's very clear to be able to hear the weather radio. There's a couple different modes on here. We'll take you through them. First, it has an AM radio, has an FM radio, as well as the weather band radio. One of the other nice features that this has is it has this alt setting here. And what this will allow the device to do, this is another one that the older model did not have, it allows it to stay in a mode where it's basically monitoring for any weather alerts that come across. And if any weather alerts come across, this little light this little LED will light up here and let you know that there is an alert that came across, as well as it'll broadcast that alert as well, which is very nice. So it can be warn you of any kind of oncoming severe storms or severe weather, anything like that that you need to be warned about. Obviously, there's a tuner up here for changing the stations, or for it's pretty self-explanatory there. And there we go, back on to the local setting. I'll go ahead and set that back, or turn that off for the moment. I think we did go through most of the features here. One of the things that I'll go over a couple of these items. It's very easy to plug in an external source. There's another item too that that the old unit did not have, which is very nice. If this is plugged into a power source, and you go ahead and you lose power, the flashlight will come on. So this would be very handy at night if a storm does come through and knock your power out. The light on the front of this unit will go ahead and flash so that you can go ahead and locate it, and then you know where your weather radio is. So let me just demonstrate that here real quick. If you pull that off, you can notice the light comes on and it'll flash intermittently, and it'll stop for a moment and then begin that flash cycle all over again. So there we see that, and then once power is restored, that goes ahead and stops. I think that's a great feature to have, to be able to find this really quick in case there is an emergency. Let me see. The next thing, if we want to focus on the ports over here, are these cables. Let me take those out here real quick. And what we want to do here is, you'll notice there's two ends on this. There's this tiny end here, and the male end, and then the female end over here on the left. Just plug the male end into the device, and then you can go ahead and choose whichever tip is going to be best suited for your application. So again, it came with a mini USB, a micro USB tip, as well as a USB jack in case you have to use a proprietary charger, like something for the iPhone. This is what I have to use for my device. And you just plug this into here, and then you would go ahead and plug in your other device and then plug this into your phone. I did go ahead and plug this in to test my phone to see if it would charge, and it will charge a iPhone. Granted, it's not going to do a lot of charge. There's only an 800 milliamp battery in the back here, so that's all it'll be able to charge. It also said if you do get stuck outside, you'll get about 10 or 15 minutes of hand cranking this to give it power, so that you can actually charge your phone for about 1 minute of talk time. So it is pretty limited there. You would have to turn it quite a bit in order to charge your phone up. But in an emergency situation, I think it would be something great to have. And again, you have a standard headphone port there. All right. Overall, I think this is a pretty nice device, and I wish there were a couple things that they could do a little bit better. One is this flappy tab over here, but overall the build quality seems to be pretty good. I wish the battery could be a little bit larger on the back for charging other devices, but I think that there is another model that has that larger battery. So overall, I think that this is a solid device and great for a bug out bag or anybody who lives in an area that gets affected by weather. Thank you.